Good morning, I'm Ben Newman. This is For Example Trading. Welcome to a new year. Nothing says Happy New Year like an airstrike from the US government. And that is going to be my focus, for the foreseeable future. You know, that is going to affect markets dramatically. I've already been warned by my broker to expect high volatility. So I'm giving you the same warning. You know, do be careful out there. The currency pairs are going to be bouncing around all over the place today. So I'm going to first of all go through the things that I think are important to keep an eye on in the news, the things that are going to affect economic factors and the markets, and then we're going to go to the charts and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at today. Now, first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do so at any point over there. There's a button in the corner of the screen right over there. And if you do want to sign up and use the broker that I use, which gets you out of the way of all those restrictive ESMA EU regulations on what we'd say minor traders, you know, people aren't trading massive amounts of money, then you can do so. All the links are below me. I will also put all the links to the news reports that I'm focusing on today. The main one being Trump. So let's move on to the markets. First of all, I'm going to look at the economic calendar. I use Forex Factory to do this. If you are new here, you haven't seen what I do before, I keep things very simple. Please make sure that you're aware no information I'm giving you is advisory. It's just the methods I use, and what I will do via the trading arena and the signals channel is put out the information and the trades that I'm placing just for your information. I will help you. I've got 2 full Forex courses available for anyone that joins, and you can join at any point in the Telegram group. All the buttons are just over in that direction, okay, above me. So do click on those, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course join the Telegram group, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you, see where you are with your trading and help you along the way. As the group suggests, it's a collaborative effort to make sure that we're all getting success from our trades. I've been away for some time, but it's going to be an exciting time to be back, certainly. So let's move on with the news first of all. Forex Factory, nothing really major going on in terms of events today. It's an Italian bank holiday. I don't see that being particularly relevant, and nothing going on in terms of final services PMI at 2:45 GMT. But that's it for the US. But the important things here is this really. I'm using investing.com for this particular report, and this is the threat of retaliation by Donald Trump if Iran decide to attack any US property, US embassy, anything like that. We know from looking at the news, I know that he is trying to bring the UK into it, the UK government, to try and get support from them. And I did see one of our politicians there, first of all saying that he didn't want a part of it and thought he was overreacting. And then I heard that they are deploying the Royal Navy ships to protect US property over there as well. So who knows? You know, the thing is, from our point of view as traders, is, you know, can we take advantage of this? I think we can, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at to do that. All right, so that's the first thing. I did post this yesterday, and just top 5 things to watch this week. Again, I'll put a link to that below, so you can have a look at that. I find investing.com very good. It gives sort of just key things to look at, you know, with regard to news and how that's going to affect the economy. So well worth a look. And the other thing that I think is well worth a mention is, of course, these terrible Australian bushfires. And this report on CNBC just saying that it will be a drag on the economy. Now, I tend to specialise in the, I've been looking at the pound US dollar, that pairing, the euro US dollar, which is almost a mirror image of the Dixie, the dollar index. So they're worth keeping an eye on. I don't often look at the Aussie US dollar, if I'm honest, or the Australian dollar as a whole, but I will be keeping an eye on that as well, because I believe that will be, it will definitely have an effect on the strength of that as well. So they're the things to look out for. How are they going to affect the markets? Well, as it stands currently, just to show you, this is my MT4. This is the setup I use. So I've got an MT4 to execute trades. You can see my account with IC Markets there. And this is how I've got it set up. So I've got candles that tell me where, what volume and in what direction is happening. This is on a 15-minute chart. I've got a currency strength indicator. You can see here the US dollar, very weak indeed, and it was kind of up around 5.5 not long ago, and that is rapidly dropping. So I'm going to show you how we can take advantage of that. But the key thing that I think to mention here is that metals, precious metals, are going to be soaring. That's the thing we know will go up when currencies are under pressure. Economic factors like this US attack and the Australian bushfires, when currencies are under pressure, economies are under pressure, then precious metals tend to go up, and that's what I'm going to be focused on 100% today. I'm going to be looking at silver. You can see I have a trade placed. There's my entry point, and it's been bouncing around this point. I'm going to show you how that relates to my trading view chart in a second. This looks like it's about to break away. If we look at it on a 1 hour, you can see these two pins at the bottom tell me that this is likely to be going up. You can see this massive gapping here, which was over the weekend. It jumped right over this pivot point and carried on going up. I didn't have the balls, let's say, to hold it over the weekend, so I pulled it. But yeah, I'm expecting this to continue going up. We could see it, heading towards 19. So I'm going to show you how that relates to the charts. If you want any information about my setup here, it's just a MACD. You can see the MACD on the 1 hour, sorry, is just heading back towards 0, and that tells me it's probably going to bounce off this point. You can see how much it's been sat above this 0 point. That tells me the momentum is definitely up with silver, and the same will apply to gold. If you're starting out on trading, silver's a good place to start because it means you can use a fairly low amount to get involved, but you can still make pretty good money from silver. So it's a good place to start, and I've been focused on silver a lot over the past year, so I will help you along with that. If you want more information on it, again, just jump into the Telegram group and we can have a chat about that. So that's my MT4. Now to trading view. So that's execution of my trades. First of all, and always, I'll look at the Dixie. Now we can see this on a daily chart. I've got a Fibonacci retracement here. You can see these key points that it bounces off, and they're the ones that I focus on. All right, I put this marker here at 96.9 because it seemed to be quite an important point. And 97 here, it seems to have struggled to get above or back up above. So that tells me, again, it's had 2 attempts at that, and this is more than likely going to continue going down, supported by this, of course, and that in turn tells me that precious metals are going to be going up. So the Dixie on a 4 hour, just to show you, confident that this is going to continue going down now. So let's jump over to silver and have a look at that. So silver on a 4 hour chart, again, I've got a Fibonacci retracement here. It's pushed past this 100% point here, and these green lines, and you'll notice this, I've had these key support and resistance levels set up for a long time now. So I just look for them heading towards that. The next key point is 18.75, and I'd expect it to get somewhere near that pretty soon. First hurdle, 18.5 there, 18.5. I think we're heading towards that, and I think ultimately upwards towards 18.75. Already have my trade in place, so I'll just be holding that, and I'll be adding to it as it reaches and breaks past these different support levels. Okay, so again, if you want to follow that, follow the trades that I'm placing, then just jump into the Telegram arena, and I can have a chat with you about how to do that. So that's going to be my focus. It is worth looking at gold as well. It's the same principle, really. If gold's going up, then silver will follow. The thing about gold is that you can make money very quickly. You can also lose it very quickly, and that means for the sort of people that are joining me, certainly starting out joining me, they probably want to be looking at silver, which tends to follow the same sort of patterns. Where gold goes, silver tends to follow. So again, I can talk you through that. GBP USD, let's have a look at this. Again, this Fibonacci retracement set up here, and you can see how important these levels are. Now this is very interesting, because I think I was expecting it to drop down to this level and then carry on going back up. It hasn't quite hit it, but I still think with the momentum, the fact that the pound is very strong, this is going to carry on going up. So this may be worth a trade as well. There you can see here on my, I'll just show you on my chart. There you go. The pound at 8.4 or the US dollar at 1.4. So a massive difference. And I'm actually disappointed that I didn't get a trade. I looked at it earlier and I didn't put a trade in on this. So what I'll look for it to do is to get to here, see whether there's any change of direction at that point, and I'll look to get involved if it breaks past there. But ultimately I'm expecting it to go up to here and beyond, and by the time the exit of Europe is due at the end of January, I'm expecting this pound to be right up here. Okay, but there will be some fluctuations up and down, but that I think will be where it's headed ultimately. So I think if we're going to be following this, pick it at the drops, jump in at the drops, but ultimately you're trading this as a buy. Okay, and again you can follow me as we go along. Euro US dollar, there's probably potential in this as well. You can see where I had this trend line running some time ago. There it is there, look, so it's just been sliding down this trend line here, and it's reached, it's bottomed out here, is now heading back up. So if we drew a line here, you can see really that this is the point that we're waiting for it to break through, and then I'd get involved in this. I'd certainly look to get involved in this as a trade as well. So if we just put a level here, there's probably somewhere like that, and if it breaks past there, then it's probably going to carry on going up. All right. So again, another one to watch. Australian US dollar. What I would this is going back some time. So when I was trading the Aussie US dollar before, and you can see I just draw these trend lines in. Very simple method that I have of analysis, and it's really just looking for those points of peaks and troughs, and just trying to get in at highs and lows, but ultimately identifying the overall direction of the trend. So that's my outlook for today. The main focus for me is going to be on silver, keeping it very simple. I think we could have high volatility as warned by my broker in a lot of the currency pairs. So I'm going to stick to metals, which ultimately I think will be going up based on both economic worries and the fact that if there are going to be further attacks and military usage, then that will affect the demand on these precious metals as well. So that's my view for today. Until tomorrow morning, I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day's trading. Stay safe out there. My advice is stick to the precious metals today. But if you want more advice on that, let's just jump into the trading arena and I can have a chat with you. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you again tomorrow.